Hello, I'm Dr. Anjana Katwa and welcome to another episode of Jurassicgirl Journeys. I'm so pleased to be able to start this series again after such a long period in lockdown. And the theme for our Ramblers Feel More campaign this week is escape. And where better to escape than a walk to Dancing Ledge? We're starting at the Spyway car park here. And this is about a 5-kilometre circular route that takes us all the way down to the beautiful Jurassic coast. You won't believe the views that you're going to see there. I think like most people, I've had real ups and downs during lockdown. Sometimes I've felt really cooped up inside and nowhere to escape to, no space of my own. And at other times I've loved being with my family, baking and spending time with them. It's really been quite a strange time, I think, for all of us. We've all had similar experiences like that. But what's really wonderful now that all the restrictions are easing, is that we can actually start to get out and enjoy nature again. I just really love it. I love being outside this time of year. And I'm so lucky to live in Dorset with all of these beautiful paths on my doorstep. I hope wherever you are, wherever you live, you're able to get out into similarly beautiful areas that nourish your soul. So I haven't come out on my own walking today. I've actually brought my family with me, including 3 children. So one of them is extremely excited, that's the 8-year-old girl at the front, and the other 2 boys are a little bit reluctant to go walking. And to help them, we actually fitted them for walking shoes yesterday, which has improved their motivation. So guys, how do you feel about going out on this walk today?
Great! Actually, but I expect it to be worse.
Okay, well, expect it to be worse is probably a decent reaction, I think. We've just come to the end of the path through this field here, and this is the spectacular view that you're greeted with that really makes you feel that you're escaping from everything in your life. Dancing Ledge is part of the Jurassic Coast World Heritage Site. This is 95 miles of coast from East Devon to Dorset, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The coastline records 185 million years of Earth's history in just 95 miles stretch of coast. It really is quite an extraordinary coastline, and it joins the ranks of places like Taj Mahal, the Grand Canyon and the Great Barrier Reef in terms of its international importance. So as you come through that gate there at the top of the hill, you're going to take quite a steep descent down towards Dancing Ledge, and the National Trust have put in this rather useful limestone pathway for you to go down. It's really rather a spectacular descent down onto the ledge itself. I think what's interesting is when you take your children out for walks like this. My 8-year-old daughter, we've been walking actually since she was probably a very young child. You know, since she was a baby, she was always going out with me into nature and walking around. And during the early part of her life, I was actually a single parent, a lone mother. So I was able to kind of just take her wherever I wanted to go. And then when I met my partner, she was 3 years old and he had 2 boys. And now they're teenagers, and I'm kind of trying to introduce them to the love of walking, if you like. They're not experienced walkers, you know, they're just kind of learning to love the outdoors, so to speak. But I think with anybody who's got teenage children, it is always a bit of a struggle to kind of get them away from electronic devices or just getting them to think outside their comfort zone of what they like. And in my particular case, it's football. They would rather be, you know, chasing a football around a park or playing Xbox or something like that. And, you know, what I try to do is I try to paint a picture of what the experience is going to be like. You know, you're going to see these things, and I'll talk to you about the rocks if we come across some and there's an interesting story. Unfortunately, maybe sometimes I put the geology on a bit hard because they find that a little bit dull sometimes. Maybe that's me trying to push my subject too much on them. As a walk so far, we've kind of nearly got to Dancing Ledge.
Good.
Quite fun actually.
Good. What makes it fun, Matthew?
The big hill I just walked down.
Excellent. Are you still thinking about football though?
Yeah.
So Martin, here we are at Dancing Ledge. We just had a really rather nice packed lunch. Do you feel like you've escaped?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, coming here, we've gone through a journey of not wanting to be here, the children not wanting to go for a walk, to realisation they're going to have to go for a walk, to the fact is they actually start enjoying it. So now I feel very relaxed and I feel I've escaped. Yes.
And when you are here, I mean, can you describe the view?
It's
How it
stunning,
makes you feel?
Absolutely stunning. It's breathtaking. But to look out across the sea, look at the cliffs, look at people coast steering, people rock climbing, people abseiling, people in a little man-made pool in the rocks. It's amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So Dancing Ledge was actually formed by quarrying. Hundreds of years ago, this rock was being quarried out to take out to London, and this is what's caused these kind of very sharp cliffs behind me. The rocks here are limestones, and they're part of the Portland Stone Formation, dating back to around 146 million years ago. During that time, this environment was covered in warm, shallow seas and lagoons and swamps. So as you go further down the coast towards Purbeck, actually what you might find are dinosaur footprints embedded in these limestone rocks. So we've had a lovely lunch at Dancing Ledge, and now we're going to head back to the car on what is actually a circular route, and this involves going up a fairly steepish hill, and we'll see how the children do. There'll probably be lots and lots of whinging. And if you're wondering what the hill looks like, it looks like that. So it's fairly steep. Right, I've come up to the top of that hill, which has rather taken my breath away in this heat. But when we talk about escape and just getting out into Britain's landscapes and countryside, this is what it's about for me. I love being on Dancing Ledge. I love having my lunch there. And I think for this time of year, yes, it is very busy. There are lots of people there. But it's almost like you have to cherish those moments when you have the landscape to yourself. This is what I love about living in Dorset, is you can find pockets of kind of solitude, and you can find your solace in nature. And this to me means escape. Listening to the crickets, you can hear the boats in the distance, but it's that bird song and it's that feeling of peace actually. It's really rather nice. So as an earth scientist, obviously I love rocks. But one of the really lovely things about walking, particularly in Purbeck, is you get to see these beautiful dry stone walls made out of the local geology. And when I look at these dry stone walls, you know, I'm kind of thinking about the sheer effort that it took to make them, to quarry that stone out, and the beauty and the art that's involved in kind of arranging all these slabs of stone so they kind of stay together without any kind of cement. It's really rather a beautiful reflection of what's under our feet. So I'm coming to the end of my walk now, and I've let my family go on a bit ahead. The boys are really hot and tired, and I think they're a little bit grumpy. But actually I get a few moments to myself, which is rather nice, just to enjoy the tranquility and peace of this beautiful meadow. And I think this is what the Feel More campaign is about. It's about getting outdoors and just finding those few minutes to try and feel more about yourself, being in nature, being in the outdoors. It's feeling more about finding a sense of tranquility and peace within your soul again after this lockdown period. And I really hope you've enjoyed my vlog today. I hope it's inspired you. Even if you just go out for 5 minutes for a short walk to the park, that's enough sometimes. That's enough to find yourself again.